Hey there, Stampin' friends. Welcome to Movie Monday with Jody, Brechbill, Stampin' Queen. So happy to have you here kicking off your Monday with me. And we're going to have a little bit of stamping fun. We are going to make a couple cards using a new bundle that is coming out in our upcoming holiday catalog, and it is called Nature's Harvest. So it is a suite, and a suite always comes with multiple items, one-stop shop. So all you need to do is click one button and you get every single item that's in the suite. So we have got the Nature's Harvest stamp set. This is, again, coming out starting August 3rd, and I can't show you the rest of the stuff from the catalog because I'm not able to just yet, but I can share the contents of the suite with you. So here is the bundle that goes with that. We do have a brand new embossing folder. I think this is called Timeless embossing folder, and it just is very textured. It's got some words, it's got some etchings, and just kind of like a boho chic kind of embossing folder. We have a gorgeous pack of Harvest Meadow Designer Series paper. Comes in 12 by 12. We have some very cool diamond weave ribbon. This is almost like crocheted ribbon. It's nice and thick. And there are some gems, which I will show you in a little bit because we're going to use those on a project. And I also want to share with you this very cool paper. This is cork paper. So it actually, I'm going to go on a limb and say this is almost really is cork. Very, very thin, 12 by 12. It is plain on the other side. Just almost like a textured paper, and then on this side it is like a cork texture. So really, really cool paper in this suite. So let's go ahead and get started and make a couple cards, shall we? So we're going to start out, first of all, some of the things I did ahead of time so that you didn't have to waste your time watching me emboss and die cut and all that good stuff. But make sure in the meantime that you are subscribed to my YouTube channel. That way, anytime that I go on YouTube, you will get a notification. So when you subscribe, there's going to be a little bell that shows up, and you're going to click that bell, and that will subscribe you to or let you change your notifications for my YouTube channel. So make sure you do that so you never miss a beat. All right, I'm using Soft Succulent today. So Soft Succulent is one of our new in colors, and I did cut that 5 1/4 by 11, folded in half, and I took another piece that is 5 1/4 by 4 and ran that through in that Timeless Worn or something like that, I think, embossing folder. So you can see how it's just kind of an old type of embossing folder. So we are, or old looking, I guess I shouldn't say. It's not an old embossing folder. It's actually brand new, but it's just is old looking. How about that? So we're going to attach this to our card base, a little tone on tone with our new Soft Succulent. Out of the bundle, I did die cut this piece right here, this long banner with the Harvest Meadow Designer Series paper, and I'm going to attach this right here across the front. Then ahead of time, I grabbed one of the dies and the paper from the Hippo Friends. I love the Hippo Friends dies. Haven't used the hippos at all yet, but I sure have used those dies like mad. And looks like we're running out of pop dots here, so we're going to use these little edges, and I'm going to attach that to my card base with some dimension. So a couple little pop dots on here. And that's going to just sit right here. Another little label from there, and I'm pulling in some Bumblebee ink and a little tiny thank you. So we'll stamp that thank you right in there, and this die does come with the bundle, and I'm going to hang on to that. Ahead of time, we have die cut these, I'm not sure what these are, some sort of, almost it reminds me of wheat is what it reminds me of, but we're going to use those and a couple glue dots for that. Now, one thing that might be great is to use the adhesive sheets and die cut that out, but I didn't do that ahead of time. I've got just have the wheat here, so I'm going to use my glue dots and just put a couple strategically, very carefully. You do want to be cautious because these will tear. They are very, very thin, but they're really, really neat looking. So just a couple. If you have paper pumpkin glue dots, they would be perfect. I like to pick those up with my take your pick tool and use them. And so we're just going to attach those right here carefully onto our card. There we go. So they're kind of freestanding a little bit. Then I'm just going to add that little label right across the bottom here. So I have a nice quick thank you card. And these are the gems I was talking about. These are brushed metallic gems. So let's add a couple of them, and that just really sets off our card. Makes it super pretty. And these are so pretty and shiny and sparkly. There we are. There we go. So there's our first card. Very, very simple and easy to do. So let's hop on to our next one. And I have 4 cards for you today. So hopefully you will love the color combination on this one. I thought it was really different and I really enjoy it. Misty Moonlight and Calypso Coral. So we're going to fold that in half. That's our card base. That's not right. It's definitely, is my card base too small? It looks like it is. Yeah, it's a little bit tiny. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put another card base on. This must be cut a little shorter than it should be, but I am going to work with this piece right here. So we can at least do the front. So ahead of time again, a piece of 5 1/4 by 4 Misty Moonlight embossed with that time-worn embossing folder. A piece of the new Designer Series paper with the Calypso Coral color. And we'll attach that just here to the side. There we go. Now this would just get mounted onto that card base, but I'm going to fix that off camera so that you don't have to wait around. So let's find some coral ink. Here is a circle cut from our layering circles that was done a little bit earlier. And I'm going to ink up the flowers with Calypso Coral ink. I am not sure what kind of flowers these are. I've heard people saying they're cone flowers. I don't know flowers real well, so I'm going to take their word for it. Misty Moonlight ink. And I'm going to do a thank you again on the same label we cut out with Calypso Coral. But I need to clean that first, don't I? Yes, because I just did it in yellow. So let's do a little clean here quick. And I'll clean my flower because I'm going to use that again with a different color as well. All right, now we're cooking. So let's make that thank you, and we're going to use our Misty Moonlight ink for that. There we are. And I'm going to use some dimensionals to put this onto my card base. Oh, uh-oh. There we go. Ooh, crisis averted. There we are. Dimensionals with our words as well. And I grabbed some of the Misty Moonlight and White and Silver Baker's Twine. This is from the Flowers for All Season trio pack. There's a 3-pack that comes with this ribbon, and you get some jade gingham ribbon, you get the white linen ribbon, and then you get this really cute Baker's Twine that has a little bit of silver in it. So I grabbed that one, and we're just going to attach a little bow. It went a little wonky on me, so let's let's have a reset here. And I'll just put that on with a glue dot. Or in my world, as they are called, snot dots. There we go. We can just kind of work it so it's not huge. I don't want it to be a huge bow. All right, uh-oh, there we go. I lost my snot dot for a minute, but we're good, we're good, we're good. Okay, just kind of wrap it around a little bit, and I'm just gonna tack that little bow right there, trim off any trailing ends, and then I'm just gonna show you real quick. I have the Winkostella pen, or the Winker pen I like to call it. So I thought it'd be pretty just to put a little Winkostella in the center of those flowers. But what actually happens is the Winkostella pen kind of bleeds it a little bit. So it bleeds the ink and lays down the little bit of shimmer, which is very, very cool. So very carefully, I'm just bleeding it. I don't want it to lose all of its shape. But I'm just bleeding that little flower. And let's just bleed a little bit down here. But it also has shimmer to it as well, which is really, really pretty. So that was a happy little accident that I had today. So there we go. And again, this will be put onto a Misty Moonlight card base. All right, let's see what else I have here. We're gonna grab some Bumblebee. So I've got my Bumblebee card base. Lots of tone on tone with this class today. I have another piece of Bumblebee that got something on there, and that's embossed with that timeless or time worn maybe embossing folder. I have to look up its name. A lot of these new products, I don't quite know their names just yet. I'm going to add a piece of designer series paper here, and it's just a smidge short, so I'm pulling in my little bitty trimmer, and I'm just going to take a little chop off. There we go, just to line those two edges up a little bit better. Attach this to my card base. There we are. And I have some white here. So this white piece, I'm going to stamp my sentiment. Oh, it's a tiny little bit crooked. I'm going to do over. The beauty of two sides to each piece is you have a do-over. Much better. Then I'm going to grab my Bumblebee ink and one of the flowers. I think these might be chrysanthemums maybe. I don't know. I'm not a real big flower person. But I'm just going to stamp those one time, and then I'm going to go a little off to the side so that they're just a little bit lighter. And I'm going to do the same on this side, just shift it, and that's just a little shade lighter. I have a piece of that gorgeous ribbon, so I'm going to tack that around the back. That almost like crocheted ribbon. Is it going to be long enough? Ooh, I might have cut it a little shorter than I wanted to. There we go. To make sure it's down, I'm going to put some adhesive on the ends. I don't want them popping off on me. We'll attach that to our card front here. There we go. I'm going to grab some linen thread and make myself a little bow right in the center. To make a bow with another piece of the crocheted ribbon just seems like it'd be too thick. So I'm going to tie myself a little knot. There we go. And then see if I can do some loops here and see if that'll hold for me. There we go. There we go. Good, good, good. Now the final thing, I wanted to add a little bumblebee. They're so cute. I want him floating around on my card. So I'm just going to put him on with a little snot dot as well. And he's just going to hang out here in the corner. So there we have another quick card with the Nature's Harvest. So we got one more. Calypso Coral. Fold that in half. That'll be our card base. And here is my Whisper White. And I'm going to grab Early Espresso. I'm going to use that stamp set that we just used. So I better clean it off because it was done in black and I don't want to make a mess. And let's see if I can get this straight. Very good. Then we are going to ink up the flowers again with Early Espresso. I love these flowers. I think they're so pretty. So we could leave it just like that. That's pretty itself. But I did want to add a little bit of color. Now, because I use the espresso ink, I am going to use blends, my Stampin' Blends. And ideally, if you're going to color, you would want to use the Memento Black. But I felt like it was just a little too stark. So I decided to go ahead and stamp it with the Early Espresso. And I'm going to be very, very careful about coloring with the blends. So if I color too much and just really don't care much, it could bleed the color of my blend and that espresso ink. So I'm going to go in very carefully. I did not want Granny Apple Green. I wanted olive. So let me grab that. I definitely want Old Olive. So I'm going to use the thin end and I'm just kind of going in and almost like just brushing it a little bit. I'm not really being very careful that I'm coloring in every space so that I don't bleed my ink too much. So it'll kind of sort of maybe have a watercolor look to it. It's okay to see white space through there, no big deal. But I'm just being real cautious about coloring lightly. But I just felt like maybe it needed a little touch of color, and I love my blends. So I did grab those to do some coloring. There we go. I'm going to do the exact same thing with the light daffodil and the flower petals. I'm just going to go in and just add little touches of color here and there, so I'm careful not to bleed it out too much. Kind of gives a little vintagey look too. And you do want to give it a little drying time. When you stamp that espresso, just give it a little drying time before you hit it with the blends. Now I grabbed Soft Suede, the light, and I'm going to do the same, just kind of pull in a little bit of color on that flower center. There we go. A little bit of that ribbon. That around the front. I'll take another little bit of ribbon and make that make a little knot around the front. So probably with this ribbon being as thick as it is, you may be cautious when you're mailing cards like that, when you do a bow or a ribbon using this, because it does make it a little bit thick. You may have to add some extra postage. All right, let's try some copper here. See if that's pretty. That. And then we'll just do up here. And there we go, friends. So again, this is Harvest Meadow. Here's the cards we created. 4 very quick cards in a matter of minutes. Beautiful. And that is in the upcoming holiday catalog. This begins on August 3rd. So August 3rd through the end of December. Now you'll notice that it does say July on it, and that's because it should normally have started in July, but due to COVID, we decided to push it back by a month and start it in August. So that gave us some time to get our orders in because shipping has been so slow. So we were allowing an extra month for shipping. So we do have that catalog. Harvest Meadow is in that catalog. Also, don't forget Celebration is beginning. August and September we have Celebration, so you'll earn free items with each $50 and $100 purchase. So if you do not have mini catalog or Celebration catalog and you don't have a demonstrator that you work with, please message me and I will be more than happy to get you a free complimentary copy. All right, friends, thanks again so much for dropping by and joining me on a Monday. Happy Movie Monday, everyone. Have a great week and come right on back here to YouTube next Monday. Actually, I lie, guys. I'm going to be on vacation, so there may not be a movie next week. But come on back and join me for Movie Monday whenever I get back from vacation. Have a good week, friends.